Here's a multi-billion-dollar question. What would it be like if you were really extremely close to one of the sluice gates at the Three Gorges Dam? In fact, any dam in the world. I could imagine it would be like this. A warm welcome to Friday the 11th of November 2022. In China today, it's something called Double 11, the 11th of November, and it is shopping day. It is China's equivalent of Black Friday, which is going to happen in about 2.5 weeks, you could say, internationally. But today, let's talk about the Three Gorges Dam, and I have found some pictures, or a picture to be honest with you, related to how the Three Gorges Dam, the Three Gorges was before the actual dam was there. And you can see how magnificently beautiful it was with very few landslides. If you look at the history of earthquakes in that particular area, there were a lot less, and tremors, etc. Way back in 1997, there was a quote the days before Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, you could say, the good old days. After millions of years of flowing in one direction, the course of China's Yangtze River is inverted to make way for the Three Gorges Dam, which upon completion will be the largest on Earth. And here you can actually see how the actual dam was constructed, with lots of red flags and, you could say, national spirit, because this is one of the very first things China did, or the CPC or the CCP did actually build, that was massive. And people didn't really know, the general public didn't really know about the corruption behind the whole thing and the quality of it. They were just proud that China was going to be the first, you could say, like any other countries. This was the early days of, you could say, let's get rich in China. Nowadays, the CTG, the China's Three Gorges Corporation, is international, and this is their car park, which seems very, very modern. Now, I can't confirm this, but the people who do or have the luxury of having a car would actually, and it's an electric car, could charge it via solar. So they can go there in the morning, charge it free of charge, maybe, and then go. There's also a book that I found on Amazon, if you're interested to get this. I really don't know about it. Building the Three Gorges Dam, Science Missions, published in 2010. Don't know the cost, don't know anything about it, but that's all you get there on the Amazon. But if you are interested, then you can. I'm not too sure how much it is. $17 odd, which is not bad. Now, going back to the title of this, problems with the Three Gorges Dam. Problems with the Three Gorges Dam include flooding of some of the world's most scenic areas, the drowning of farmland, the submerging of over 1,000 cities, villages and towns, and relocation of 1.3 million people to higher ground. Critics also claim the river won't flow fast enough to keep the turbines turning, and the dam itself will become inoperable after a few years as a result of sitting near enough, which is happening now. The dam has been plagued by reports of floating archipelagos of garbage, carpets of algae and landslides on the banks. Since the 1.5-mile barrier was completed in 2006, the reservoir has been plagued by algae and pollution that had been previously flushed away. The weight of the extra water has also been blamed for tremors, landslides, erosion of these slopes. Now, I went to Sentinel Hub this morning, the satellite image company that I use, and unfortunately it was not there. All I could see was a man-made map, so to speak, and you can see it there, which I actually haven't shown, but it does show the dam in quite a bit more detail, animated detail. We can continue, but we will just take a short break while I'll take a sip of my delicious coffee or cappuccino. I know that one or two people would say, well, if the satellite image is down, then maybe the Three Gorges Dam is not there anymore. This year in China, they've had severe droughts, and China is actually preparing for a winter drought. But in some places in China, being so huge, it's winter already. But this has happened before, way back in 2011. Droughts and floods. After a severe drought followed by heavy flooding in the spring of 2011, Michael Wines wrote in the New York Times, even the dam's ability to regulate a notorious changeable flow of the 3,900-mile-long Yangtze, one of China's two major rivers, has been called into question. Faced with a historic drought this spring, cities downstream and the dam have been unable to accommodate ocean-going vessels that it usually visits in their ports, and about 400,000 residents of Hubei province lost access to drinking water this month. Although no link has been proved, critics say the dam has changed region water tables, contributing to the shortage. Jonathan Watts wrote in The Guardian, the drought of the spring in 2011 has a profound impact of the middle stretches of the Yangtze. It has left 1,392 reservoirs in Hubei with only dead water. Chinese media reported this month that the Yangtze water traffic of hundreds of boats ran aground in the shallows. There have been claims that the Three Gorges plant has obliterated the problem by holding back electricity generation, but operators claim they had alleviated the problem by releasing 400 cubic meters of water from the reservoir. You can see exactly the same, which we have covered earlier this year. The whole thing is, that was 12 years ago, and the Three Gorges Dam is still standing. It's not producing much electricity. It just needs water. And where does the water come from? Tibet, and where that's snowing at the moment, obviously, because it is in high altitude. And it's very different this year, but it is similar to 2011. The only thing we can do on it is just keep an eye and see the water levels and try to get from different sources and work out the logic out of the madness. Now, away from the Three Gorges, and the other part of the title was Tofu Dreg China. Now, when you see lots of the promotion or propaganda from China, it would say everything's fine, and when they show bridges, they would show things like that, and they do, you must admit, look quite spectacular. But how well are they built? Example here, this is quite recent. This is in Guangzhou, really close to Hong Kong, where they were building a bridge, and you can see something went a little bit uneven there. Even a couple of days ago, a bridge, I think in the northwest of China, was collapsed for some unknown reason. Haven't got any more information with that one. We can go to some of this is more recent as well. This big, huge billboard sign suddenly decided to fall down. It wasn't particularly windy. This is, again, bad, cheap construction. And away from that, I'm looking at the pictures at the same time with this. I was mentioning earlier in the northwest, in Xinjiang province, snowing, and the power is having rolling blackouts. So you can see in -2 degrees, people have no electricity to try and keep warm. So they would have to, I don't really know the actual situation. I'm living here, it's November, and the temperature is, hey Siri, what's the temperature?
It's about 33 degrees outside.
It's a balmy 33 degrees. So living there during winter, especially this time, you're having rolling blackouts in the winter. You don't have to sort of like go into any evidence of this. This is the video from just a blogger or vlogger there who managed to get it out onto Twitter. I do have one more image related to COVID in China as well. They test everything. And when I mean they test everything, it is everything. Even the coal that they use for burning for electricity. It's sort of like the world or China has gone really crazy. It's OTT, over the top. That is about it for me for today. Thank you so much for your time as always. Do always check your like, subscribe, and you can leave a comment in the form below. You can always check me on Twitter. Now, every time I do a video, if anyone's got this far in the video, then it's always posted there, usually at the same time. Notifications are there on YouTube, but not exactly very reliable anyhow. So if you want to see what's happening in the world of the Three Gorges in China in a different aspect away from the mainstream media, then I'm your man. I think that was... I can't even remember who sung that song. But be good, be well, be safe, have a epic day, and enjoy the weekend. And one more thing. On November the 24th, Thanksgiving Day in the United States, Soapy, Pickle, Tokyo and myself are doing a live show. Now, this is like a musical show. It's away from the Three Gorges. If you do have any requests, then drop us a line. It can't be related to the music because of copyright licenses, but it can be like, hello, happy Thanksgiving to my time. It'll be shown the usual time videos come out, which is 6:30 my time, 7:30 Hong Kong, which is going to be around about 11:30 a.m. in the United Kingdom. Pretty early, but you can watch it when you want. But if you are up that early, then that's fantastic. All right, waffled on too much. Bye bye for now. Thank you.